Hello, welcome to episode number 30 of No Holds Barred Pod. I know, anniversary episode. That's Sal.
Hello, I'm Sal.
And I'm Don. Sorry, we're laughing.
We'll tell you why we're laughing in a minute.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Welcome to our 30th episode of No Holds Barred Pod, which has got off to a cracking start with Sal in bits of laughter already.
You know what? I'm still laughing about the flying bus. I'm still laughing.
From last week.
Yeah, anyway.
I listened back about 4 times. Yeah. I've listened and watched it about 4 or 5 times because it made me laugh a lot. It was brilliant. So if anyone hasn't listened to the last episode, it's well worth it for the fantastic content that we produce, but also the last 5 minutes of hilarity. So
on No Holds Barred Podcast. Oh, you've got to come on, tell them.
Okay, I heard something the other day whilst listening to another podcast about boosting yourself, how to promote your own podcasts, and it said you should say your own name, Don McGowan, a lot throughout the podcast. And
I can't.
No Holds Barred Pod.
I don't like it.
And no, Sal and I were chatting before we press record, and both of us are a bit uncomfortable, like speaking our own names, because it seems like a very unnatural thing to do. So
yeah, so if you don't want us to be awkward and unnatural, could you please share us with a friend?
Yeah, exactly. You could do that for us instead of us constantly saying our names and No Holds Barred Pod.
Yeah.
Then share us or review us, and then it will really help us. Yeah. Oh, already.
Well, you see the mic. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, there goes the mic. Is it taped down?
The sticky tape's still holding the volume, so that'll be okay. Just don't mute me again.
The cat protection tape on your microphone. Yeah. So, we've gone rambly very quickly there, but welcome along to number 30. Amazingly, we've got to, which is quite exciting. And we'll just sort of do our usual roundup of PMQs in a minute that Sal's got, and chat about quite a few varied things this week, I think. Less reform, more varied news stories, which is interesting.
I mean,
and I'm going to mention
most of them, aren't they, eventually? But...
yeah, they come back to a lot of it, but yeah.
I'll be honest, right? I'm going to put my neck on the block here, and I'm going to say to you what I said to me Claire the other day. I'm actually quite comfortable about the reform thing now, because they are just the ultimate charabang. It's funny at this point. It's not quite as funny as Richard Tyson, Nigel Farage seem to find it at PMQs this week.
Yeah,
which is another thing I'm going to touch on that in a minute.
Okay, cool.
But holy shit cakes, if they want to keep this up for 3 years, crack on, lads. Where's my popcorn?
I know. Fully agree. They really are becoming a caricature of themselves, aren't they? Like,
and not just that. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, every week that passes, they just make a fool of themselves, and it makes them less and less electable, and their polls are dropping as we speak. So yeah.
More than that, what I am uniquely positioned to notice is that for at least 4, possibly more weeks, every single PMQ has had somebody, mostly Lib Dems, stand up and overtly call them out and ask the government to look at Russian interference.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's taking them so fucking long, but we're here, and it's a start. Yeah. So does that.
Definitely. No, I agree. It is being pointed out more and more. And is it next week we get the Nathan Gill their sentencing? I think it's next week, isn't it? So
well, it'll be interesting because next week's a Jolly Bobs for me. They're in recess for a week.
Oh, it must be the week. Sorry.
At least that's what it says on the list that I took from the government website a few months ago.
How are they on holidays again? They've only been back for 2 weeks.
It's only for a week, but then in PMQs, somebody mentioned that there was a public holiday coming up, and I'm like, for you, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, not that I'm aware of.
Unless it's like a Remembrance Sunday thing that, because they have to do that weekend to get it. I don't know.
MPs. Well, they have to work on a Sunday, so they get a whole week off. God bless them. They must be tiring for them to do that.
That
whole
wouldn't be the
half a day
weirdest
on
thing.
Sunday. No,
you know,
right.
at the moment.
No.
But anyway.
Definitely not.
Anyway, let me, I'll rattle through it because it was a curveball PMQs this week, everybody. Curveball.
It was an odd one.
And what I mean by that is it was headed up by David Lammy, who, not actually usually a fan, but he did a good job, I think, all things considered. Against, and this will make you laugh, a guy called James Cartledge, who's a shadow justice minister, who never clapped eyes on him, never heard his name in my life. And somebody on Twitter, who I thought was being serious. I've got to stop doing this, taking people seriously. They said it was Nick Cave.
Oh, God.
And I thought, no. Well, I know he lives in Blackheath. He's friend of a friend. And given that last week GBBs pulled Jeff Banks out of the 1990s to discuss digital ID, it's entirely plausible.
But Tories had brought out Nick Cave. Yeah,
it wasn't Nick Cave, so apologies to him for that misunderstanding.
Yes, the little known James Cartledge, I think it's fair to say.
Oh, and he's going back into obscurity quite firmly, I think, after this, because he's an idiot. David Lammy paid his tributes and briefly mentioned something about forces housing in his little ramble, but it was just an odd, given what he was talking about. The MP from Sale congratulated him on being the first black man to front PMQs, which is very sad because it's 2025, but also good for him.
Do they not count Rishi Sunak in that?
He's Asian, he's not black.
I suppose, yeah.
Apparently it really matters.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, it does
to
matter.
some people,
but,
yeah.
Oh God, I don't want to be flippant.
Yeah, of course
it
matters, but yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
He'll be the first Asian man, won't he?
Yeah.
Same man. And he went on to talk about a child in his constituency who's got cancer and is fundraising £122,000 to try and raise life-saving drugs that NICE won't fund.
Yeah, I heard that.
Lammy paid tribute to what? This is where I thought, hang on, maybe you're not an entire cunt. Because the first thing David Lammy did, which is the first thing that occurred to me when I heard the Sale guy say what he said, David Lammy paid tribute to Diane and Dawn Butler. Diane Abbott and Dawn Butler. And I thought, I like that. That's awareness, that is.
Classy move. Yeah, I liked it.
So we know he can do it. That's what we take from that. And he wished the family with the poor dying child well. The man who's got to be worth a couple of million. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. If that was me, I'd be like, there you go, have it.
Yeah, here's the money,
And I know you can't do it for everybody. Thanks.
You all right?
He's just going to waved a Magnum ice cream at me. He's starting his new job tomorrow, so he's very excited.
Is he?
Bless him. Very happy about that.
Good
0 hours, job, but it's a job.
Job's a job. Yeah, brilliant.
Back to the other weirdness. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe he wants to say that.
Yeah. So not Nick Cave. Right. So Mr. Cartledge. Little hand gesture from me for everyone listening. You can imagine what it is.
You need to watch that on YouTube. Yeah.
Started banging on about the prisoner that was released that we discussed last week. Absolute fucking joke. Now, for the purposes of everybody's sanity, I'm going to précis this and tell you what was really happening rather than go through it. What had happened, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dom, because I probably should have checked up on this and I didn't. I have to double check myself because the Tories got wind that in the last day or so, another prisoner had been inadvertently released, and they were so convinced it was going to be an asylum seeker. They hinged their entire 6 questions on it and then miscounted those questions and tried to get a 7th. So I'm just going to very quickly take you through David Lammy. have a bit more respect for him now. I'm not going to lie. I know he's a genocidal prick, but
I just want, before you start, like I wasn't prepared for you to go into bat for David Lammy today, so that's quite an interesting turn of events.
Do you know what? I'm trying to be moderate because, fuck me, when something positive happens, you have to suck the life out of it and, find the positives.
No, it's a good
because otherwise all you're left with is catastrophization and negativity, and that's a killer.
That's fair.
Which we'll go on to talk about later when we discuss mental health, as requested by our listeners.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to not judge people and just take them on their actions as best
he did
as
well.
is possible.
He did. Yeah.
And I'll tell you for why in a sec. Apart from the aforementioned, David Lammy stood up and he gave possibly the most fulsome, genuine apology I've seen in the House of Parliament. He could have been lying, but he's a very fucking good actor if that was the case. And he's also, bearing in mind, apologising for something that isn't his fucking fault and didn't go down on his watch. He's been in the job for 3 minutes? Shut up. So, all things being equal. And said the matter will be fully investigated. They've got a dame on because there ain't nothing like a dame for investigating things, apparently. And then this cartilage bloke stands up and says, I think you'll find you owe the House a full apology. And everyone was silent because they're like, are you well? Did you... And David Lammy, who he basically pointed out that during the 14 years of Tory destruction, this little prick was actually a justice minister in government, and everything him and his government did led to where we are today. As we all know, there is no defending what those legally defined scumbags did.
Yeah.
And he absolutely leathered him, and it was fucking lovely because there aren't enough leatherings in that place.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love of God, I got my pages all mixed up again. I'm going backwards. Go the other way, Divvy. So then he stopped asking for apologies. He said, can he reassure the public that no other asylum seeker has been released since this other one? But he just didn't stop. And so Lammy stood up. He said, since Kabatu, I've strengthened checks. He's inherited hell from the Tories. And he said this, I thought it was an odd phrase for someone in his position to use in the House of Commons. Your party were letting people out on the sly.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
All right. That's a weird
Not
one.
necessarily your party or the Tories were letting people out letting people out on the sly.
On the sly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but yeah.
I just thought it's a very
it's an odd
casual phrasing.
Colloquial, yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't necessarily think colloquial, just a bit not strong enough. You were letting people out on the sly. Your government obfuscated the conclusions of the cuts that you've made, and this is the conclusion. All words that can't, just more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cartledge then gets angry and starts talking shit. David Lammy buries him loudly. Cartledge, the man is a bellend. David Lammy, 14 years in opposition, and I did better than you did, basically. And the Labour Party have deported more failed asylum seekers in 1 year than the Tories did in 5 years. Cartledge, he's an utter tit. Also, he can't count. David Lammy, the Tories are shameful. Now, righto, here we go. He literally, and I'm quoting him, said that the Tories were responsible and called it criminal negligence. Right, where are those criminal charges, Sunshine? If you're going to stand there on Hansard and actually say what they did is criminal negligence, where are the charges? Where are the arrests? Where are the trials? Because they murdered over 1 million people whilst destroying the economy, creating... It's going to take us decades to get out of this. And more people are going to die unnecessarily. People need to rot in prison. for what's happened.
Mm.
Anyway, Jonathan Brash.
Again, didn't he have one last week? I thought that his name came up last week as well.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know, would I?
I was going to...
Could have been fucking idiot.
When you were guessing names last week.
No, I figured it out now. If I use Sky, they actually put the name up. No other bugger does.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
I have to use that to thwart Lindsay Hoyle, who I thought it was very funny. Somebody in PMQs was talking about Hoyle Oilfield. No, it can't have been that. No, it was. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Lindsay Hoyle Oilfield. No, it wasn't. It can't.
Really?
No, Lindsay Oilfield. That was it. I got there in the end. I knew it was something in music. Yeah, Lindsay Oilfield, and everyone just went, yeah. I love stuff
Lindsay
like
Hoyle Oil has got a ring to it, though.
No, it was Lindsay Oilfield, but everyone's like,
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
No idea what it was to do with, but anyway. Yeah, so Jonathan Brash, another child who can't get funding for the cancer treatment. This country is shameful.
They said it was to do with it was too rare or something. I mean, that shouldn't be that shouldn't be the right benchmark for them to look at.
What it is these drug companies won't let people use their drugs unless you're willing to profit them handsomely because they're fucking psychopaths.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
it. And the irony is, of course, that the government pays for all the research behind all these drugs. But anyway.
True.
David Lammy, blah, non-answer. I don't know what you're supposed to say because, but shit.
Yeah, not a lot you can say.
Daisy Cooper. Bless her little heart.
I like Daisy Cooper.
She went hard on foreign interference, as the Lib Dems do most weeks, in their defence on this particular issue. The government I think she said that we keep telling the government that you need to look into this foreign interference, and she listed the China thing, the Russia thing, and other stuff. And the government have done nothing. What will it take for the government to act? And David Lammy just came out with utter bullshit.
Yeah.
Utter. Oh, we've done this, we've done that, and we do it. No, son, you haven't done nearly enough. Daisy Cooper came back, bless her, and she reiterated her point. And she said that this year banks have made a surprising amount of billions of profits that they weren't expecting to make because of economic conditions.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
Whilst poverty soars. What's fairer, taxing struggling families or taxing big banks? Excellent point to make. Excellent point.
It was.
Lammy came back and said the budget's up to Rachel Reeves. And you see, this is where he loses me a bit because he's just being a prick. Blamed the Lib Dem coalition for supporting austerity. And whilst that's true, it's not progressive to bring up something that happened, 12 years ago?
13 years.
15 for a while ago.
About 15 years ago.
And whilst, technically he's accurate, what options did he think the Lib Dems had in those votes? Because they were clinging on, weren't they? It was the first time they got a hint of power and lapdogs to a billionaire to keep power. I'm not excusing it, but I can see the mechanisms that took place. And, they're not perfect. The post office scandal's an issue with the Lib Dems. There's issues everywhere. But again, we come back to nuance. We're just drowning in so many different, the amount of people on Twitter who I get on really well with, and then they follow me. And I'll go to follow them back and look on their bio, and it'll go TERF. And I'm like, that's just mad. How can we get on so well and discuss this issue? And then on that, you just hardline extremist.
Lose the plot. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So, there's a lot of it about. So I'm trying to cut through that with my appraisals of these people.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tristan Osborne, oh, bless him. I don't know who he is. And I think he's probably a Tory. And I'm being judgmental. I could be wrong. Could be late. He could easily be Labour with Tristan Osborne. Actually, now we know what the originators of Labour are like. Who am I being horrible about? Remind me.
Which one? Tony Blair? What?
No, the Labour people. The Quakers of Labour.
The Quakers of Labour.
Oh, we're going off topic. It doesn't matter.
Talking about momentum or something. I'm not sure.
Fucking. Oh God.
I don't know who you mean.
The party I went to where I saw what's it Izzard. And we're going to be here all day. The posh Labour people, anyway.
We'll come back to it.
Fair dues to him, wherever he's from. He listed the entire Reform clusterfuck, and it was a beautiful moment, because he did it very well. He listed everything that's happened to all their MPs, every fuck-up they've had since May. And basically said Kent deserves better, but this is ramping up. I'm noticing through having to watch it every week.
Yeah.
The calls are getting louder. But
they are.
To go back to it, for reasons of psychopathy, I'm going to go with Richard Tice and Nigel Farage were pissing themselves like schoolboys.
They do every week, though.
But that's not the interesting bit. Do you know who wasn't fucking laughing?
Lee Anderson.
Bingo. And that is interesting. That's very fucking interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that as well. I didn't watch it as usual. I just listened on the radio, but someone pointed out to me on Twitter afterwards and said, "Did you see Lee Anderson in PMQs?" I was like, "No." So I went and looked. I was like, "Oh, fucking hell." He was not a happy man.
The only time he laughed was when Nigel said something to him.
Yeah, I know. That is an interesting point. Something, the splits happening.
I'm going to have a look at them lot.
Well, someone said to me that
fingers in there.
Someone said to me that he got an absolute bollocking off of Zaya Yusuf after the press conference where he suggested people go in Invicars.
I'm sorry.
How true that is?
Who's he to bollock anyone?
Oh, fuck knows. Ex-chairman on telly every day. I don't know, but apparently that's what I was told. Unconfirmed source, but they said
Imagine being bollocked by him. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
But he's an arsehole, isn't he? I mean, he was...
Oh, they all are, obviously.
With loads of allegations against him at Velocity Black and when he was in Goldman Sachs, that's what he was, yeah.
Well, I have every faith in you and the guys and Kat at the Observer to scratch those surfaces.
Yeah, well, we're definitely doing that. Yeah, the Lee Anderson thing, though. Good, we'll watch that because I think there's something there, definitely.
Sorry, we are very nearly finished because, Jesus, it was
hard.
It was hard work for me this week, I'm not going to lie. Lammy did point out that Tyson Farage were laughing like schoolboys. So it's all being very, look at them now, which is in a different way to the way they want people to look at them, which is good. Yeah, and he said their racism belongs in the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Referencing Sarah Potchin, wasn't it?
Stephen Flynn, bit disappointing. He tried to be funny and it was shit. But I normally buzz off him, and you can't hit the mark every week, can you? So, no.
I didn't hear what you said this week, actually. I missed that one.
Oh, it was a waste of a question. I can't even remember what it was, but I remember being a bit perturbed because, it's once a week. You get to go on camera and face up to these people.
And he's normally very good, yeah.
He is normally. So I'm going to let him off, No judgment on the SNP. I don't know enough about them. Just, I take people on what they do. Good news from PMQs. Don't know if anybody else didn't know about it, but I certainly didn't. And as an ex-leaseholder, it's about fucking time that we had a Leasehold Reform Act to get rid of leaseholds.
Okay. Yeah. So is that going through now, is it?
If you're ever trapped in a leasehold property, Jesus fucking Christ, it will bury you with stress. So, yeah, that's a very nice... And also, because most of the leaseholds in this country are foreign-owned by people who don't even live there. So we
talked about that, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Good news.
And then I went, right, fuck this, I've had enough. So that's this week at PMQs, everybody.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Yeah, it was weird, and the whole James Cartledge thing was odd because I listened on LBC.
And who was supposed to be doing it?
Well, that's what I was going to come on to. So I was listening to James O'Brien and oh my God, I just had her name in my head and I've forgotten it. Natasha Clark, the politics editor at LBC, were talking about PMQs before. And basically James O'Brien said exactly what you've just said. Who the fuck is this guy? Where's he come from?
Nick
and
Cave?
Natasha Clark. who is very well connected and in politics, she said, well, apparently Kemi Badenoch had told them, or her spokesman had said that he just put his hand up and said, I fancy a go. And she went, yeah, fine, off you go then. And that's how he ended up at PMQs on Wednesday. Literally just went, I'll do it. And she went, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Because Badenoch's so hubristic that she doesn't have a deputy. So
they are running government like a local sports team. Are you taking the piss?
Yeah, basically, that's it. I'll do it.
This is the trouble, people. This is why we're here. Fucking knew it. I had a hunch.
But yeah, I know. So that's apparently, according to Natasha Clark at LBC, what happened and how Cartledge ended up in PMQs against.
That's how Sunday League football works.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's playground politics. Oh, there's an advert.
Go on your Substack, because I heard Don McGowan's got a really good channel called Playground Politics.
Oh, that was an accident.
And this is NoHoldBarredPod, just in case you forgot.
And I'm Don, and that's Sal. Yeah, but yeah, it is though, isn't it? It's just these fucking idiots are they're not taking it seriously like they should be, and I don't know. I think Badenoch's kind of ridden out the storm of her sort of being booted out for now until the May elections. I was convinced she was going, but she seems to have. Jenrick's been quieter. She seems to have quieted things down a bit. It is nice. Although, yeah,
Katie Lamb told him to sit the fuck down and shut up.
Well, I think she's got a big part to play. I mean, we've talked about it loads, and I think she's got a big part to play in it. So yeah, I think she's got the backing, and she's basically told them to pipe down. Otherwise, you're out of the shadow cabinet. So yeah, it's an interesting one.
I'd like to say something that we were talking about before the pod, because I think it helps to understand it a little bit, especially given what you've just said about I had no idea. I assumed somebody had fallen ill or something.
I know, right?
What? Okay, so but it backs up what we were saying before. There are people like us who, and most of the people I imagine who listen to us, who believe in substance and authenticity and will not call themselves something until they feel competent at having done it. And we are facing a country run by the opposite type of people who have that much confidence they can go and fake it till they try and make it, regardless of consequence. And that's who we are being essentially run by for the last 15 years.
Yeah,
people
exactly right.
For whom their behavior will never affect them because they're set for life.
No. Yeah, and exactly. They don't need to worry about what they say.
That's what makes them fucking delusional. I'm sorry. That's it. Find a psychologist to disagree with me, fine, but they won't.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's why you end up with the Conservative Party, the one of the oldest and most successful political parties in the world ever, being run by a woman who won't appoint a deputy because she knows better than everyone else, and then when she's got a day off, like some guy at the back puts his hand up, and then he's in. Off you go, in you go.
And lest we forget, to become a full Tory member with voting rights, you have to be 14. 14!
Yeah, there you go.
So how many of those 14-year-olds are actually like your dad with both accounts? Dickhead. Just... This country's so mental.
Yeah, it is. It's weird and run by, just, as you say, delusional people with too much money that don't really care about anything. Yeah.
Apart from their own profile. And they don't even care about looking shit, which baffles me. I said to I'm going to go out on a limb and say friend of the pod, Michael Squires, Reform Councillor.
Yeah. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael. We're giggling because we're trying to get you on and you won't come on.
Nearly.
But I actually, in fact, stranger than that, because he ain't going to watch this, I actually said to him, have you got no self-respect? And he came back with an awfully friendly reply, totally disregarding it. I genuinely want to know. It's not a rhetorical question. Where is your self-respect? But anyway, can I do a little, you know how everybody wants us to have people on with different points of view? Well, I've been trying this week really trying, and we all know I'm trying anyway. But anyway, so I had a chat with Michael Squires last night. I say chat, schmooze.
Yes.
And I don't think he'll have permission to come on here at any point, so I'm just having a bit of fun, to be honest with you. But I did also get retweeted earlier in the week and ended up having a really good discourse and quite a lot of agreement with Right Said Fred.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
I was waiting for who you were going to say. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what universe we're living in, but that happened. And I tried to get him on the pod. And he said, send us a link. I said, oh, we really friendly chat. And he's like, oh, you're a lefty. And I'm like, I know, but sometimes, we can agree on things just for different reasons and what have you. And, we're trying to get somebody on the pod with a different point of view because Don's mates are bored and that's what matters. Joking.
Yes, Dave.
I'm kidding. And sent him a link to the pod and I didn't hear back from him. And do you know why I think that is? Not because I'm an abusive gobshite, but I think because Don got blocked by him a few years ago.
Quite possibly that.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah,
because it's normally me.
I didn't do anything wrong. I just pointed out that it was just during the COVID stuff when they were going all anti-vax COVID denial stuff, and I thought, nah.
But you know what? Even then, that would have been a good chat because he's one end, you're the other end, and I'm in the middle going, where's the truth?
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway, I digress. So just updating your listeners, we are trying to get on opposing people with points of view, but...
Yeah, we are.
There aren't many of them that can hold a debate, I reckon, and that might be our problem.
Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? It's how do you get people on that are willing to chat to people? Because we're more than able to talk to anybody on any discussion, about anything, whether they're right-wing,
we play with a straight bat, though. I don't think that's attractive to them. We're not here to play games. We're here to nail things. And they want to play games for cash. And, we're not at that point yet where we're raising cash. But so, listeners, if you can tag anybody you like on Twitter that you'd like to see having a chat with us, invite them on. Point them our way.
Yes, please.
We're very friendly. We like a laugh. We just want to get to resolutions that suit society.
Exactly. And it would not, that's the thing. And I said that when I started speaking to Michael Squires a few months ago before the summer or in the summer. And he was a bit wary. He was like, oh, we don't have the same views. I said, but that doesn't matter at all, does it? I mean, that's exactly it. That's why we should be talking to each other, not the reason we shouldn't be. And that's the whole problem with the echo chamber via social media now, is that only people in the right want to talk about right things and to right at people.
Yeah.
And I get, called fucking communist, Marxist, all this shit every day by people, but they won't engage in debate. They're just ad hominem attacks, and then because they don't have an argument.
There's no want or need from their position to seek to understand, because they're just, as far as they're concerned, they've got the blinkers on and they're right, and it's all about money, and that's that.
Exactly.
And I actually said to him during our lengthy dalliance, should we call it? Because it was a bit fucking weird, I'm not going to lie. I'm not used to flirting, am I? And I mean, we're undecided on what was going on, but I don't understand why he's so friendly. That's the... Anyway.
Like only because
nobody else... Yeah, but nobody else on that side of the aisle really is. They're all pretty feral.
A lot of them are, most of them.
That's why we think we'd have a really good discourse with him. And, to the best of my knowledge, he's never killed anyone or done anything terrible. Like if we tried to get Robert Jenrick on or something, which would... there's some people I just will never be able to speak to and have no wish to speak to. But we still need to further our theories and problems and solutions. And we're not going to do it as long as we've got the right wing just being absolute rabid knobheads.
Yeah, that's fair. Talking of rabid knobheads.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Talking of rabid knobheads, Nigel Farage is finally under investigation for his taken long enough, but the ship has what's the phrase? Oh, I don't fucking know. Anyway,
the train's left the station.
What's the phrase about turning a tanker round? Whatever that is. Anyway, that's how. Yeah, the eyebrows fine. You don't need to go further than that. Anyway, in the latest release on the UK Parliament website for allegations currently under investigation by the Commissioner, it says the Commissioner looks at evidence that individual MPs may have broken the rules of conduct.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they released a new page of MPs this week or last week that are under investigation. So in the current crop, let's not go back. That's July. That's September. There we are. 15th of September, an interesting one. Opened on the 15th, James McMurdoch MP is under investigation for actions causing significant damage to the reputation of the House as a whole and of its members generally. So that's interesting. Yeah. So I don't know what that's actually. I'll find out. So it's unclear at the moment as to what he's under investigation for, but bringing significant damage to the reputation of the House is a serious accusation, and I think possibly one that could see him losing his pass for the House of Commons, which means basically expelled as an MP. But we'll see.
Really re-put yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he was. So, and then opened on the 30th of October, 7 days ago, Nigel Farage MP is being investigated for late registration of interests, Category 1 and Category 4. So, as has been pointed out by me, by Kat at The Observer, by lots of other people, that we found that he missed out, I think the technical term is a shitload of his register of interests.
5 months, wasn't it?
5 months. He missed out 5 months worth of declarations.
Bearing in mind how much that twat rakes in. Wow.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Fucking wow.
So I thought I'd look at Category 1 and Category 4. Category 1 is for employment and earnings and failure to declare any outside employment and earnings, which is the more serious of the two, I think, because he's supposed to register these within 28 days of receiving payment or taking up the role. So 5 months worth of undeclared payments is not ideal. And then Category 4 is shareholdings. And this might be less serious but more interesting, if that makes sense. This is to do with his shareholdings in All Perspectives Limited, which is a parent company of GB News, which he works for. So talking to other people in the week, they think that this might be the more pertinent of the two cases that he's being investigated for, because, GB News is not a news channel. We know that. And technically, Ofcom don't treat it.
They should be forced to change their name.
Well, that's what I wrote the other day.
You can't fucking do that.
No, exactly. I wrote that the other day about GB News being treated as a opinion in inverted commas channel, which is what they are, instead of a news channel, because it's nonsense. Anyway, that's what Farage is being investigated for this week. Go on.
Oh, I meant to ask you. I should have done it earlier than right when we're recording. Did you see Chopper interviewing somebody from Reform?
No.
Who the oh, that's going to piss me right off. He went for him because they weren't giving him an answer, and I was like, on GB News, I was like, what the?
Oh, he's done that before in the past a couple of times, but not
I've never seen
often.
Him do journalism.
Yeah, no, he can. He definitely can.
It was something about one of Reform's nonsense policies, and he's like, yeah, but what? Answer the question. They wouldn't, and he was getting really annoyed with them. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I haven't seen this in years.
Yeah.
Did he get on Sky?
Yeah. I have seen him do it a couple of times, but not very often.
He was getting really annoyed.
So.
I thought they were all just sucking each other off.
I was just looking, where is it? No, not that one. and I'm just going to do a little sort of mini plug again for my Substack, because this week I finished my series on reform donations on my Substack, and it went out in 4 parts eventually. And it was partly down to a colleague on Twitter who I can't identify, Mr. X, who looked into a lot of the background of this stuff for me, and he did a brilliant job. But I've split it into 4 parts because each part's about 2,000 words. It's a long old slog.
Yeah. Great work, though.
But thank you. A lot of interesting things came out of it. A lot of interesting people and a lot of interesting donations, which I'm got to follow up on because there's some really strange ones. But the GB News, part 3 it's called the Two Georges. I dedicated that to George Farmer and George. Oh, sorry, bear with me. Just trying to get it open and it's distracting me because I can't remember what it is. There it is. George Farmer and George Cottrell. So George Farmer was the CEO of Turning Point UK. Watch this space on that one. So
fuck's sake.
George Farmer is married to Candace Owens, who set up Turning Point in America.
Up. Oh my fucking shitcakes. Wow.
So he's married to Candace Owens. He's married to Candace Owens, who started Turning Point originally with the Charlie Kirk in America. He now lives in America with Candace Owens. He launched the Turning Point UK with John Mappin, who owns Camelot Castle and is a big QAnon guy. His dad, Daddy Farmer, is called Baron Michael Farmer. He used to be the former treasury to the Conservative Party, but he's a hedge fund guy. He's invested in loads of stuff, but he's a major shareholder
is what he is.
He's a major shareholder in All Perspectives Limited, the parent company of GB News, with Nigel Farage. So you can start seeing all the links to the far right.
So don't be telling me there's no transatlantic link.
Exactly. And Junior Farmer lives in America with Candace Owens now. He's not the CEO of Turning Point any longer. He was the CEO of Parler, the weird free speech app that got set up when Katie Hopkins and Tommy Robinson got banned off of Twitter. They set up this free speech in inverted commas app.
Never heard of it.
No, it didn't last very well and basically collapsed when Kanye West tried to buy it because, attach that name to anything, it's never going to be successful ever again.
He's probably the only person on the planet that you can actually apply anti-Semitism to everything he says, and it'd be accurate.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, he's a horror show, isn't he?
He's
so
terrible.
Yeah.
Well, him and Rupert Lowe.
So George Farmer has donated £200,000 to Reform UK. He's part of Turning Point. He's married to the founder of Turning Point, and his dad's a shareholder in GB News. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of work to make these connections, but I put a lot of work into it and there's a lot of writing involved. But, it's the links to the far right, as you say, transatlantically, the American far right, Turning Point is like the linchpin, I think, in all of this. And I'm researching Turning Point as we speak, and there's going to be something coming out in the future on that, and hopefully quite soon. But they're the linchpin. Go on.
I just wanted to, I don't know if were you going to mention the Perpetual Widow?
Who's that?
The Mrs. Kirk. What she's been up to this week.
Oh, no.
Well,
I wasn't actually going to mention it, but yeah.
Well, just on the off, because if everything, not if, everything's linked. And there's some photos appeared online because she introduced J.D. Vance onto stage somewhere this week, because she's a grieving widow. That's devastated her husband got shot in cold blood. And that. And she basically embraced him like they'd just got married. And he's already married, and his wife is looking like she's having the roughest period of her life. And people are making...
She's not happy.
People are adding things together. So just consider if... Oh, God, it's just sickening to even imagine if what could happen. But Mandami, So there's that. We haven't even talked about. Have we not talked about that? But we will.
It's on my notes. Don't worry. We're coming to it.
Okay. Well, it all links in, doesn't it? Because
it does.
It's been posited for a while that they had a marriage arrangement of convenience. Both good-looking, wealthy, popular people, and one of them needed to hide the fact that potentially they were homosexual.
Who's this we're talking about now?
Oh, there's been rumours about for ages that Charlie Kirk's
oh,
not
really?
the only right-winger to be caught out. Not that he got caught out, but the other fella did, didn't he? The other day. Yeah, no, there's a lot of gossip, scurrilous gossip basically going around, and she's not helping things because, for all intents and purposes, it looks like this is what's going to happen. Transactional relationships by psychopaths. It's what they do.
Sounds about right.
And the rest of the world's like going, oh my God, that's disgusting. But they'll do it anyway.
What?
And it's all money and power coming together.
Yeah. I saw an article the other day saying that, well, alleging that Ashura Vance's wife, who's a Hindu, I think, was very unhappy.
About her?
Well, that's what I was about to say, that he said he was hoping she'd convert to Christianity on a podcast a couple of weeks ago.
But he didn't even say it in a nice way. He said it in a really fucking toxic way.
Exactly. And she's not happy about that at all, is she? So, yeah, that whole Erica Kirk thing's really, really strange. Like, there was the video, which I can't say if it's real or not. It looks like her putting fake tears in her eyes before she came on stage.
I haven't seen that. I've heard about it.
Have you not seen that one? Yeah.
Look.
And then, the way she grabbed onto JD Vance by the back of the head and kind of, as you say, like at their first dance at their wedding on stage in front of millions was really odd.
It was weird.
But, I mean, there's another... Go on.
Somebody who nailed it all within 10 seconds of it happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
So there's another link there with JD Vance to Reform as well, and the whole kind of transatlantic connection, because Nigel Farage 2 weeks ago appointed a guy called James Orr as one of his chief advisors. James Orr linked to he's a Christian fundamentalist guy. He's a real bit, and he's like best mates with JD Vance. So the links are sort of converging now to a point that I don't think Farage can deny it any longer, that Reform and the right wing, the MAGA movement, are converging to one thing.
What is it
now.
The Bible says about false prophets again? I forget. No, I'm not fucking joking. Because they are literally like doing a ghost costume at Halloween with a sheet, but with Christianity. Yeah. It's fucking shameful. And what annoys me more than anything is that the churches don't call them out. That's what boils my piss, and that's why I hate organised religion. I don't hate faith. Mm-hmm. Knock yourself out, do what you want in your own house. Mm-hmm. But organised religion is a joke, and we know this because they say nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I'd never really thought about that, but that's a very good point. Because then you've got that brings us on a little bit to what's sort of maybe not going to happen today, or what's been talked about for the last 24 hours is Birmingham and the far right, and like people like Danny Tomo and Tommy Robinson using Christianity as this sheet, this mask of fucking patriotism. Like, Christians are not violent people, but Tommy Robinson and Danny Tomo are. Is
Danny Tomo the one whose dad's a nonce?
Yeah, I think so.
And he's also got form for noncy, and as Robinson has got form for grooming a 16-year-old as well. They're fucking disgusting. They're psychopaths. Allegedly, and furthermore, while we're talking about Robinson, we're talking about a man who's literally grifted a career off opposing violence to women and girls. And now he's being sponsored by a state who this very week has basically kidnapped their former governmental lawyer for whistleblowing the rape of a prisoner.
Yeah.
And they are castigating the whistleblower and celebrating the rapist. And this is who Tommy Robinson is employed by.
Yeah, definitely.
Riddle me that.
I know. Oh, yeah, he's fully paid up, funded member of the Israeli state now. Him and Liam Tufts, who was interviewing Danny Tomo yesterday. I mean, it's all...
They're making it up. They're just people who talk shit who don't care about consequences. That's not a rational, stable human being. They're like kids playing dress up, but they got lucky because they hit the zeitgeist at the right age. It's shameful that it's been allowed to go on. And I don't know what's going on in my throat. I'm really sorry. No, I've just...
Well, it's really quite scary to me because I don't know if anyone's seen, you've seen it, I've seen it, that X put out a post on X earlier from their Global Government Affairs Department, which I didn't know existed. But it basically says that Tommy Robinson was acquitted of all charges against him under the UK Terrorism Act. True. X is proud to have funded his successful legal defence. Now that is scary shit. That's not right. And I put a post out earlier saying this should be a warning shot to the UK and the EU governments that Elon Musk is actively now interfering in British politics. Like,
I'm sorry, you can't say now. He's been doing it for fucking years.
He's been doing it for years, but
he's
now
done
they're
it very overtly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Now it's there, posting about it on X.
And all the time the government have sat there doing sod all, and we're all going, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I mean, that's exactly what I said in my post. Is like, what else is he funding would be my first question if this is the one that's out in the open. I mean, it's just mad. So, what the fuck they do from here on in, the government, I don't know. But that's dark as far as I'm concerned, that they're now openly broadcasting that they're funding the far right in the UK.
But I just don't understand. Never have done, to be honest. I know that part of being a human is employing caution. But as an organised civilization, we take far too long to get to grips with this shit. It's clearly stuff that's detrimental to society. It's very skirting the law very closely. And they just sit on their hands, letting it all happen. Just same as Gaza, same as the post office, same as all the scandals, the Chinook disaster, the poison blood scandal. Could go on and on and on. Hillsborough took 8 years. Fuck me. All the while, there's been no duty of candour allowing all these other scandals and sufferings and deaths to take place, and it's not on. We're not that fucking stupid. Most of us. Some of us. Fuck me. Who are these people running government, man?
I know. Turning the tank around. That's the phrase I was reaching for, but you're right. That's
Never
exactly
heard it in
what
my life.
It's just... I may have made it up. That's, who knows, but it makes sense.
You turn, don't you?
No, turning the tank around. Oh, fuck no. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to find
Listeners,
it.
Listeners, if you've heard that phrase, let Don McGowan know below. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Nice. We're no good at this marketing shit.
No, I know, we're not. We're too humble. So what else was I going to talk about? Yeah, this Birmingham stuff. Yeah, the far right going mad on X about it since last night, trying to push violence. Are you looking at the news? Nothing at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's flashback to LA riots. That's helpful.
I don't see. I mean, let's have everything crossed. Then I don't think they're well organised enough to create anything serious.
Well,
but
I'm not sure what's supposed to be happening because they're not coming over.
No,
so what,
this is
are
the
they
problem.
just going to protest the people at the game? Or are they just hooligans who can't let a game go by?
No, it's the Tommy Robinson lot. They're trying to weaponize this against Muslims in Birmingham. It's like an Islamophobic thing that they're trying to ramp up violence again. That's what I've been collating all the posts on Twitter in my bookmarks, and there's like 50 of them, and it's all basically just anti-Islam, anti-Muslim kind of sentiment.
Is that not a hate crime?
Yeah, I think so. But it's
certainly
stochastic terrorism.
A thing with the N-word on it. So what gives? What's the diff?
Don't know.
Not that I would, but technically.
But after the attack at the weekend, we saw on X that racism is fully acceptable and embraced by the far right
weren't they? It's fucking disgusting.
I know, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrendous. Some of the stuff I saw after that, and I'm not talking about like the violence side of it. I mean, the racist side of it afterwards was just the worst shit I've ever seen in my life of 50 years in terms of racism in this country, anyway.
I mean, I like to think, hope, trust, whatever, pick your own word, that the majority of the accounts on X that spew the vile words, I mean, some of the stuff I've read this week, I wouldn't even repeat on this, and I swear like a sailor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
I hope to think that the majority are employed socks and bots in another country. I'm
An
sure some
awful
of them
lot of them
are
are.
from absolute saddos in this country who buy that bullshit that he spews. But I think they're probably a small majority. I think a lot of it is just attack bots with, and
Oh, yeah.
and bearing in mind we're talking about Putin, who there's no limits on his sadomasochism. He doesn't give a
No.
shit. So he will like deploy people to say the worst things in the world without,
Definitely.
batting an eyelid. So I
But
like to think that that's that, which enables me to just discount it as bullshit and block and move on.
well, one of those accounts, I'm going to take a bit of credit for getting shut down. Not shut down, but they've locked their account because they locked their account on. They blocked me and then locked their account on Sunday. Pippa B, yeah.
Nice work.
Because I was contacted by a guy who knew the actual woman whose profile picture they nicked for that, and I put it out there, and I sort of got a lot of hits and traction on it, and by Sunday, that Pippa B account, who is one of the worst for spreading hate and racism, has been locked. So fingers crossed that fucked off for good, because it was a rank, disgusting account. Although I was told by someone that they knew who it was, and it was a guy, just a man sitting in his flat in London doing it, but I have no confirmation. Either way,
or people who've never been introduced to consequences.
Yeah, exactly.